My name is Evan Cox. I was born July 19, 1926 to Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Hayden Cox in Rockville, Utah, near Zion National Park, Utah. My first marriage was to Patricia Margaret Douglas, and in Scotland when I was in the military there. We had three wonderful children: Philip William, Charlene Yvonne, and Paul Brennan Cox. My second wife, after 20 years married to my first, was to the sweet gal Barbara, and our marriage lasted about 18 years. The third marriage lasted about 2 years. Sweet, wonderful girl. Then I married my sweetheart from 58 years before that. I met her in the military when I was in California, and we planned and even named 4 wonderful children for our marriage. But a sneaky friend of the family married her while I was gone in the military. Anyway, she's my true love, and will be until the day I die. I'm very grateful for my Mormon heritage and the DNA heritage of the Cox family. And until I die, I will strive to be a credit to that heritage. Thank you.
Two extra stirrups and 2 extra spurs, 2 extra boots for his 2 extra feet.
My name is Evan Cox. I was born July 19, 1926 to Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Hayden Cox in Rockville, Utah, near Zion National Park, Utah. My first marriage was to Patricia Margaret Douglas, and in Scotland when I was in the military there. We had 3 wonderful children: Philip William, Charlene Yvonne, and Paul Brennan Cox. My second wife, after 20 years married to my first, was to the sweet gal Barbara, and our marriage lasted about 18 years. The third marriage lasted about 2 years. Sweet, wonderful girl. Then I married my sweetheart from 58 years before that. I met her in the military when I was in California, and we planned and even named 4 wonderful children for our marriage. But a sneaky friend of the family married her while I was gone in the military.
All right. It doesn't look like I have audio right now through this.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Okay. Yeah, I was muted. I want to make sure I'm muted during the service.
Okay, yeah. And I was actually connected to my car, my truck. So I think when I ended that, then all of a sudden I could hear.
We are streaming right now. We only have like one person connected, and so they're probably watching our conversation right now. But
right. Okay. Well, let me flip this around so people can see let's see, hold on. Instead of you and me, come on, flip, baby, flip. There we go. This is actually what I'm looking at right now.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at the graves. I mean, I'm just going to drive a little closer here then. So if people are actually watching this, they can actually see something besides me, you know. And so I'm just kind of here waiting. I got here thinking that there'd be a lot of people here doing whatever, but actually, like I said, I'm the only one here so far. And it looks to me like, yeah, like, I hope I can take this corner okay. There you go. So it's actually, you know, since one person's
Is this
on.
where the cemetery is?
This is the cemetery, yeah. Let me show you.
So there's a dirt road to the cemetery?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's really quite. Would it be better this way or this way?
I think we need to have landscape just like that. That's
Landscape,
much
okay.
better.
All right, so I'm gonna hop out and probably I hope I don't lose audio, but I'm gonna play.
Actually, when your Bluetooth turned off, it sounded better.
So actually, yeah, that was my truck. So does it sound better right now?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, this is actually, and I don't even have my Bluetooth in right now. I've just got my, let me put this in just so I can hear you since we're
You're
talking.
just picking it up from your phone mic right now.
Yeah, that's just my phone. This right here is my Bluetooth. So let me pop this in really quick. I'm trying to do this one-handed. It's not working very well. They said they're going to have some sort of audio out here, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Sort of speaker system. I don't see anything right now, but this is the actual spot right here. Can you hear me still okay?
Yeah.
It's quite a small hole.
Well, yeah, it's just always, and okay, so the box is already in there.
No, I don't know. Let me come around this way. There's the pile of dirt. I guess this is good to get the shot. Is this recording actually right now? Oh, I can't hear you anymore. Hold on. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. This is but is this recording?
This is streaming right now.
This is the live stream. It's not actually in the box unless the box is under that case and those bricks or whatever that is. It might be right there.
Maybe okay, so maybe they'll bring the box and then just put it on top of that. Maybe looks like just a pedestal then.
Yeah, it might be a pedestal. It might be that it's down inside there. Maybe they're going to put it down inside of there and then cover it to protect the urn.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, let me show you really quick. This is where we come all the time for my grandma and grandpa, and I can show you right now. This is actually, so this is the Cox. This is not, apparently that's not one of them, but this right here is the Cox headstone of Robert Cox and Evelyn Cox. And then over here is the Leslie Eileen Broadhead that's actually right next to.
So who is Robert Cox that's died, or is that just where he's going to be buried when he dies?
It actually says March 23rd, 1924. Yeah, Robert, David, and Karen married February 12th, 1946. So I'm not sure about that, but here.
Okay, so yeah, this is probably where Bob is going to die, be buried when he dies, and they haven't put a death date yet.
Yeah, probably. So I'm over here. I've got to be careful because there looks like there's a little grave right here. So I'm going to be very careful coming around here. But this is Alma Joy Cox. So here's another Cox. This one right here, I'm not sure about all these ones. I haven't really been to. I mean, I'm not sure which, this one was 2015. So that was Alma, right? This was an Alma died in 2015.
Yep. Yeah.
So there's Alma's. And it looks like they've actually got this one very nicely done as well today with some flowers. That's kind of nice, right? Here is
Uncle Alma died after my grandma.
Oh, really? Wow. So yeah, it's a really nice headstone. Anyways, this is the area where we have a lot of our family. I don't know about this Howard. I'm not too well versed in that, but here's another Cox right here. Here's Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Cox. This is our grandma and grandpa.
Our great grandma and grandpa.
Yep. Great grandma and grandpa. This is can you see that okay on the screen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can. Okay. That looks really good. Yep.
It looks like this is okay. This is taken care of all right. But this right over here is my grandma and grandpa Wilcock. If you look right here, this is Arthur and Lena Wilcock, and we always come here every year that we come down here. And there's a picture right here. Hey, how you doing, Ken? There's Ken right there. We're zooming. I don't know if you get on live. You can probably see it. Probably see yourself. Where do you want me to put my truck? Okay, I'm gonna move my truck somewhere then. So
okay, I'm gonna go back to the video then, so we don't have to keep watching you.
Okay. All right. So you know what? We'll hop back on when they're a little bit closer. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna you can just turn off your video. You can keep the Zoom on, but just turn off your video, and I'll start the video. Start the video again.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks a lot. I'm just on right now with Robert. We were actually just testing it out, so he's starting the video part of it, so that's good.
Good to go.
He
wasn't going to start till 10:30.
Yeah, really good service though. I mean, we have really good service right here.
I'm very grateful for my mom.
So I should probably pull off to the side over here then, right? I'll just pull off to the side. That way people can get around through here. Yeah, I'll do that really quick. And then I'll hop back on, Robert, a little bit. I don't know if you can hear me right now, but I'll hop back on here later.
Thank you.
Get a chance.
Two extra stomachs and 2 extra spurs, 2 extra boots for his 2 extra feet.
Hello. Hi.
My name is Evan Cox. I was born July 19, 1926 to Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Hayden Cox. in Rockville, Utah, near Zion National Park, Utah. My first marriage was to Patricia Margaret Douglas, and in Scotland when I was in the military there. We had 3 wonderful children, Philip William, Yvonne, Charlene Yvonne, and Paul Brennan Cox. My second wife, after 20 years married to my first, was to the sweet gal Barbara, and our marriage lasted about 18 years. The third marriage lasted about 2 years. Sweet, wonderful girl. Then I married my sweetheart from 58 years before that. I met her in the military when I was in California, and we planned and even named 4 wonderful children for our marriage. But a sneaky friend of the family married her while I was gone in the military. Anyway, she's my true love and will be until the day I die. I'm very grateful for my Mormon heritage and the DNA heritage of the Cox family. And until I die, I will strive to be a credit to that heritage. Thank you.
Two extra stirrups and 2 extra spurs, 2 extra boots for his 2 extra feet.
My name is Evan Cox. I was born July 19, 1926 to Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Hayden Cox in Rockville, Utah, near Zion National Park, Utah. My first marriage was to Patricia Margaret Douglas, and in Scotland when I was in the military there. We had 3 wonderful children, Philip William, Yvonne, Charlene Yvonne, and Paul Brennan Cox. My second wife, after 20 years married to my first, was to the sweet gal Barbara, and our marriage lasted about 18 years. The third marriage lasted about 2 years. Sweet, wonderful girl. Then I married my sweetheart from 58 years before that. I met her in the military when I was in California, and we planned and even named 4 wonderful children for our marriage. But a sneaky friend of the family married her while I was gone in the military. Anyway, she's my true love and will be until the day I die. I'm very grateful for my Mormon heritage and the DNA heritage of the Cox family. And until I die, I will strive to be a credit to that heritage. Thank you.
2 extra stirrups and 2 extra spurs, 2 extra boots for his 2 extra feet.
My name is Evan Cox. I was born July 19, 1926 to Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Hayden Cox in Rockville, Utah, near Zion National Park, Utah. My first marriage was to Patricia Margaret Douglas, and in Scotland when I was in the military there. We had 3 wonderful children, Philip William, Yvonne, Charlene Yvonne, and Paul Brennan Cox. My second wife, after 20 years married to my first, was to the sweet gal Barbara, and our marriage lasted about 18 years. The third marriage lasted about 2 years. Sweet, wonderful girl. Then I married my sweetheart from 58 years before that. I met her in the military when I was in California, and we planned and even named 4 wonderful children for our marriage. But a sneaky friend of the family married her while I was gone in the military. Anyway, she's my true love and will be until the day I die. I'm very grateful for my Mormon heritage and the DNA heritage of the Cox family. And until I die, I will strive to be a credit to that heritage. Thank you.
Two extra stirrups and 2 extra spurs, 2 extra boots for his 2 extra feet.
My name is Evan Cox. I was born July 19, 1926 to Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Hayden Cox in Rockville, Utah, near Zion National Park, Utah. My first marriage was to Patricia Margaret Douglas, and in Scotland when I was in the military there. We had 3 wonderful children, Philip William, Yvonne, Charlene Yvonne, and Paul Brennan Cox. My second wife, after 20 years married to my first, was to the sweet gal Barbara, and our marriage lasted about 18 years. The third marriage lasted about 2 years. Sweet, wonderful girl. Then I married my sweetheart from 58 years before that. I met her in the military when I was in California, and we planned and even named 4 wonderful children for our marriage. But a sneaky friend of the family married her while I was gone in the military. Anyway, she's my true love and will be until the day I die. I'm very grateful for my Mormon heritage and the DNA heritage of the Cox family. And until I die, I will strive to be a credit to that heritage. Thank you.
2 extra stirrups and 2 extra spurs, 2 extra extra boots for his 2 extra feet.
My name is Evan Cox. I was born July 19, 1926 to Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Hayden Cox in Rockville, Utah, near Zion National Park, Utah. My first marriage was to Patricia Margaret Douglas, and in Scotland when I was in the military there. We had 3 wonderful children, Philip William, Yvonne, Charlene Yvonne, and Paul Brennan Cox. My second wife, after 20 years married to my first, was to the sweet gal Barbara, and our marriage lasted about 18 years. The third marriage lasted about 2 years. Sweet, wonderful girl. Then I married my sweetheart from 58 years before that. I met her in the military when I was in California, and we planned and even named 4 wonderful children for our marriage. But a sneaky friend of the family married her while I was gone in the military. Anyway, she's my true love and will be until the day I die. I'm very grateful.
How this looks, okay? So, I don't know if that looks okay, Robert. You can tell me if that looks all right. And that is, I mean, like,
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, well, once we get it steady, that does look pretty good, but it needs to be steady, of course.
You're talking the video,
Yeah.
right? So, I haven't really tried out my tripod yet. It's not the steadiest thing in the world, but it is kind of something. Right, I'm gonna try it real quick and see how it looks. It's actually just the end of this thing. So if I were to take this and set it down like this, hold on a second. How's that looking?
Yeah, it needs to be turned clockwise a little bit, it looks like. Or
oh yeah, it's a little off.
facing up.
It's a little off that way. But is that better? Like if it's something like that?
Yeah, about right there is good.
But you're saying holding it like this
steady right there
is not. I mean, because I kind of want to get in there just a little bit closer. But the video is okay right there, right? That's all right.
Yeah.
Audio okay. This is through my AirPods. That's okay, right?
Yeah, I can hear you through the AirPods.
Okay, I'm going to take the AirPods out and we're going to test the audio and see what you can hear without them. Okay, one more time. Just to do a couple of tests. How many viewers are there right now? Anybody actually viewing this besides you and me?
Okay. So have you found a spot where you want to have it?
Again?
Have you found a spot where you want to set the phone?
I haven't yet. They're kind of setting stuff up. So once they get that set up, I'll decide where we'll put this. Let me
Okay.
turn up the volume a little bit here so I can hear you. Can you still hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. So I think they're going to be coming from this other direction over here, like this. What about the wind? Is the wind affecting it much?
Not a whole lot. There's that I do hear some wind ever so often, but
Okay.
not a whole lot. Yeah, you probably do want to have it on the other side with the audience, with the rest of the audience.
Facing this way. Or no?
So you're actually showing Ken and whoever else is at the mic.
Right. Whoever else is going to be at the mic. But right now you can hear me, right? Can you hear anything
Yeah, I
else?
can hear you now. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm going to be quiet for a little bit, and then you just tell me what you see and hear and what you think looks better. Maybe. I don't know. Once again, the grave. Dirt. Hey, how are you doing, Dad? What's that? I did. Hey, you know,
This is a nice place for you to be buried, and this is a good place to do it.
could you tell us about that, Dan? A little bit about those mountains up there?
Well, that's on the right is
Let me see I want to see your finger when you're pointing it.
on the right is West Temple, right there.
Uh-huh.
I've been up on the top of there. That's Mount Kinnisava. I've been up on the top of there quite a few times, but it is a bit to get up there.
Oh,
There's Indian petroglyphs way up on the top of Mount Kinnisava.
really?
One way to get up there, they have a good vantage point up there. But if a graveyard would be right here at the base of this area is just fantastic.
Isn't that amazing? Wow, that is just incredible. I didn't know that. So what are the two mountains again called?
West Temple.
Uh-huh.
Actually, our uncles and everybody called it Steamboat.
Okay, Steamboat.
That's West Temple, and this is Mount Kinnisava.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so
Pretty cool.
that is way cool. Wow, and here they are, right at the base here. Very base of that. Wow, that is incredible. Incredible. So this would be probably the angle, right? Where it's gonna be happening.
Yeah, I probably here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Is that sounding okay?
yeah, I can hear that. Okay, Scott, is there a way you can place it to where it's stable? And I mean, that's a really good position, I think, right there.
Okay.
And we can just see how it looks when it's stable.
Okay. See if I can find a good spot to set this down. And let it go. I'm not sure. This is gonna look.
Okay, you may need to tilt it if it's going to be that low. You may have to tilt it up.
Up a little bit higher like this.
Yeah, that's good. That's pretty good right there.
Good right there then, huh? Okay. All right.
And of course, then you're going to have to move it once they go to dedicate.
Yeah, they'll hopefully. Oh, this thing's gonna blow over. Not as steady of a stand as I thought it was gonna be. But I'm hoping. But that's a good spot right there then, right? Good.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good spot.
Okay. All right. So I'll just remember where that spot is for now. And
Too bad we don't have a really tall tripod, but
yeah, or setting it on some sort of a table or something. That's okay. We'll might be able to put it on a chair if they have. They're not using all the chairs, but they might be using the chairs for people. Would it be?
that looks pretty good right there. If you can
If I can stay like
keep it
this,
at
like
that
this.
level.
Okay, I like those mountains in the background too, like Dan was saying.
Yeah, okay.
If I'm not in anybody's way, if I can stand like maybe over into here, I think maybe that would be good. Maybe just like that. Huh? I'll have to see. I'll see how that works. And I bet you there's a speaker that's going to be right here. Look at that speaker right there. So I think we're going to be good with the audio.
Yeah, maybe with your being that close to the speaker, you may not need to put, we may be able to hear it just fine.
Yeah, I think so.
Where you have your AirPod right now.
Yeah. In fact, I'm just using the normal audio from this. I want to show you guys. This is Uncle Steve and Aunt Sharon, and they are here to see this happen. Right? Look at this. You guys look like you're ready. Yeah. Cold. This is cold for you guys, right?
It's cold.
I don't know if you guys realize it, but I would be in shorts right now and a t-shirt because up in Utah County, boy, it gets really cold. This is like a wonder. It's good to see you guys here. Yeah, how have you guys been doing?
Doing great.
Good. We're just practicing this, this whole little thing out. So
Make sure it's gonna work.
yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to get some people see this. And by the way, there's Uncle Ken too, right there. So we're gonna get that done. Yeah. Anyways, this is the shade. It's got a little bit of shade here, so that's good. And people are starting to show up. So, there's a lot of cars over there. Those cars, there's actually a lot of cars over there. Good. Let's see. I don't mind walking around a little bit. It looks like the My battery's still doing okay. I plugged it into a charger. So I think we should be okay for the time being. Hey. And by the way, look at this. This is Aunt Gloria. Hey,
It is.
hey, Aunt Gloria, how you
Yeah,
doing?
Good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
What are
Yeah.
you doing here?
Well, this is going up
Are
live
you a
right now.
relative? I know.
I am. This is Uncle Bob right here. Look at this.
Yes, thank you. Good morning.
So people are starting to get
Really
nice.
Beautiful weather. So
Nice. So, yeah. Yeah, Dan and Nancy. There's Aunt Carol coming too. I'm gonna stand off. I'm gonna stand off to the side over here. Stay out of the way.
The boss comes in. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Sorry, go right ahead. Get out of your way. So when do you want to start? Do you want to actually start recording this pretty soon, or what are you thinking?
It's actually recording right now.
Recording right now. So
Well,
okay.
well, YouTube is recording it.
Right. YouTube is recording. Okay. But I'm just gonna be quiet. Is that okay? And I'll just let it run.
Yeah. And I'll mute myself also.
If you want to mute me too, well, I guess I can mute myself, right?
Yeah.
Or did you want to hear some of the stuff going
Oh,
on?
no. Well, do you want me to just run the video until we start?
That's fine. If you want to run the video until we start, I can just kind of get a few people, a few famous folks on here, because like look at this. Look who this is. This is Aunt Carol.
And I love
And
you.
she
Whoever you are.
it is
I
nice
love
to
you.
see Aunt Carol today. Oh, and we have more people coming. So.
You know, they actually might like seeing the people come in. So there's that Fiona.
There's Fiona right there.
Oh, no.
Say hi. Say hi to Robert at least. I know Robert's
Oh,
on.
hey,
Is there
Robert.
anybody else on, Robert?
Hey, Robert. Hopefully Janine will get on.
Yeah,
and
hopefully.
Ravon.
Yeah, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. We're just
It's
getting all the
good
people
to be
coming in.
seen.
Yeah,
Good
isn't
to
it?
sneak behind.
All right.
We have 3 viewing right now.
Excellent. Okay. We'll keep it going then. He's playing the organ. Here's the battery pack. This is the battery pack. Wow, that thing's massive.
We did too.
I'd like to get in and talk with Uncle Bob here pretty soon. And yeah, get in and at least talk to Uncle Bob, see how it's going. Okay.
There you are now. Oh, Uncle Bob. Uncle Bob. I have a picture of Aunt Evelyn on my photo board. Yes, I love it. Oh, you're right. I was to make for Grandma Cox's cookies. I brought her recipe. This is Jaded. She's my granddaughter. This is my Uncle Bob. This is Grandpa Evan's eldest brother. Well, not eldest, but he's, I hate to say it like this, and I hope you're not offended, but he's the last of the great eight. I miss you, Uncle Bob. Someone, normal people see someone's gotta be first, right? But you say, oh, huh? Still fair. I always get excited when I see a lot of memories of Karen and her little tutu and David in the water. Fun time. No, she wasn't born yet. Yeah, I wasn't there. Not yet. She's my granddaughter. She's my daughter's daughter. Yeah. My mom's
Scott.
Yeah.
I'm Robert Cox.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, good to see you. Been many years.
Ah, crazy.
How long was it since you and your whole family, I think, was up there for the reunion that year? That's been
That was Aaron, when I was married to Aaron, yeah, my daughter now she lives in Virginia now, so got the baby in like 5 months. I'll be a grandfather finally. So I'm looking forward to that.
that's a lot easier than being there.
Just
A lot more fun.
bummer that she lives all the way to the other side of the states. But, yeah.
How you doing?
Scott, I am. We're recording this live.
So Scott, we have 6 viewing now, so that at least tells me that that the link is working.
Okay, so we got 6 viewers. We doubled our viewing audience. That's great. Okay, I'll walk around a little bit more before we start. How's that?
Sounds good.
Hi, Uncle Bob. How are you doing?
Hey, I am doing okay. I could do better without this, but that's one of those things.
Do you have anything you want to say to the people who are viewing this at home?
I just want them all to know that I love them. And that we're not in a better place in the whole world than right here. That view up there is just magnificent.
And I want to show these guys at home the view up there. Once again, Dan was talking about the view, Steamboat Mountain, right? Best view in the world.
The cloud is shading it, but the sun will be out in a minute. And it'll be bright and beautiful too.
Yeah, that's incredible. Huh? Good.
I love them all.
Oh, wow, that's great, isn't it? And this is this the urn? Right here? This is the urn. Wow, it's beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, it was really
Incredible. Wow.
Oh, you live here? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I'm Char's granddaughter. No. I'm Jaden. Yes. My. Okay. Yeah, my mom. Over here. Oh, she's over there. That thing. She goes,
LA.
Tell people all the time. On vacation. So, Southern Utah. Or
Hello, test. Test, 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 test. Hello, hello. Ooh, there it goes. Now we're there. Steve, can you hear this? But, okay.
yeah, but just when everybody's going, we'll just have the mic, so we don't have to. They got up and gone. You could probably make me in the rain. How you doing?
my brother Rick. And there's Donald, his wife. How many viewers we got now?
Good looking as ever. Hey, how are you? Well, I couldn't even attempt that, so you're looking great. No,
Robert, how's that looking?
life's good. We have a challenge.
That looks pretty good, actually. And
That's a good one right there.
and the sound looked pretty good too.
Can you hear the music playing in the background?
Yes, I can hear the music.
Okay, good. And so I think we're all right. I don't know if they're going to use this table or not, but I'm using it, I guess. Let me find out.
You always on that tractor movement stuff. But you know what?
I'm gonna go find my. Yeah, it's nice. I recognize you. I don't remember your name. Okay, yeah. Now that you say your name. Yeah, oh yes. I need a sister. Yeah, you tell your mom and I know. But I recognize you from the. Thank you for this.
Is it working okay, do you think? I hope. Hope it's working.
I love your music. Who's doing what? All right, so is the mask supposed to be blue out or white out? It depends on which website you look at. What? You're like, my son's shoes. My son's shoes. That is not good. They will never be the same. Is there felt? Oh, yeah. Dirt. Never get it. Well, I think you're going to want to.
Yes.
Did you want one?
I have. I have it on my computer, so.
I watched
anyone
Tremors.
needs it,
Every time I step in a hole, I get worried.
You've saved some for that.
Yes.
Do you know what it was on Facebook? You can ask. Well,
Oh, that means that like there's a spouse that has. Call Jackie. I'll be right back.
These guys, see how much the lag is. What are you seeing right now? Can you see it moving around? I mean, if you look at my screen, it's still, oh, that's not far behind, huh? We're getting closer, guys. We're getting closer. This is the whole place right here. Oh, That's a pretty nice shot, isn't it? Four-legged cowboy. Evan Cox. That's a 30 seconds.
Diane.
She's
Diane.
I think when I talk with I mean, look at that. That's a little bit, that's quite a bit later, isn't it? But then it's going all the way up and back to Robert, back over here, huh?
Hello. We just received word that Matthew will be here in about 15 minutes. So enjoy yourselves and we'll won't quite start on.
Hey, Diane, can I use this table to do my thing on? Is that what this table?
It's her, I think he said that Malcolm wanted to put some stuff on it. What do you need?
Oh, just something I could put this thing on later. Like, is there a little? Well, I'll try. She's gonna put some stuff on there, and I was thinking about just holding it like this. I don't want to, so I'm good. Yeah, nice. Good setup.
I almost brought a little tiny tripod that's like a mic tripod. It's tiny, but
This thing works okay. It's for some kind of out, standing up. But it's good.
I'll come. The one that has the post office house, I used to say. Yeah. That was one of the daughters.
We got 15 minutes, guys, so you gotta hold tight. So I'm just gonna take a walk through really quick.
Scott, do you want to just place it there and I'll play the video for a little while?
If you want to, because we got what, 15 minutes or so?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and place it where you think you want it, and I'll make sure it's in a good place, and then I'll start the video.
Sounds good.
Scott, do you want to just place it there and I'll play the video?
Is that a good spot? Okay, Robert?
Yeah, that looks really good.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it right there.
Okay. I'll go ahead and start the video then.
And the DNA. And until I die, I will strive to be a credit to that heritage. Thank you.
Two extra stirrups and two extra spurs, two extra boots for his two extra feet.
My name is Evan Cox. I was born July 19, 1926 to Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Hayden Cox in Rockville, Utah. near Zion National Park, Utah. My first marriage was to Patricia Margaret Douglas, and in Scotland when I was in the military there. We had 3 wonderful children, Philip William, Yvonne, Charlene Yvonne, and Paul Brennan Cox. My second wife, after 20 years married to my first, was to the sweet gal Barbara, and our marriage lasted about 18 years. Then I married my sweetheart from 58 years before that. I met her in the military when I was in California, and we planned and even named 4 wonderful children for our marriage. But a sneaky friend of the family married her while I was gone in the military. Anyway, she's my true love and will be until the day I die. I'm very grateful for my Mormon heritage and the DNA, the Cox family. And until I die, I will strive to be a credit to that heritage. Thank you.
Two extra stirrups and 2 extra spurs, 2 extra boots for his 2 extra feet.
My name is Evan Cox. I was born July 19, 1926 to Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Hayden Cox in Rockville, Utah, near Zion National Park, Utah. My first marriage was to Patricia Margaret Douglas, and in Scotland when I was in the military there. We had 3 wonderful children, Philip William, Yvonne, Charlene Yvonne, and Paul Brennan Cox. My second wife, after 20 years married to my first, was to the sweet gal Barbara, and our marriage lasted about 18 years. The third marriage lasted about 2 years. Sweet, wonderful girl. Then I married my sweetheart from 58 years before that. I met her in the military when I was in California, and we planned and even named 4 wonderful children for our marriage. But a sneaky friend of the family married her while I was gone in the military. Anyway, she's my true love and will be until the day I die. I'm very grateful for my Mormon heritage and the DNA, the Cox family. And until I die, I will strive to be a credit to that heritage. Thank you.
2 extra stirrups and 2 extra spurs, 2 extra boots for his 2 extra feet.
My name is Evan Cox. I was born July 19, 1926 to Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Hayden Cox in Rockville, Utah, near Zion National Park, Utah. My first marriage was to Patricia Margaret Douglas, and in Scotland when I was in the military there. We had 3 wonderful children, Philip William, Yvonne, Charlene Yvonne, and Paul Brennan Cox. My second wife, after 20 years married to my first, was to the sweet gal Barbara, and our marriage lasted about 18 years. The third marriage lasted about 2 years. Sweet, wonderful girl. Then I married my sweetheart from 58 years before that. I met her in the military when I was in California, and we planned and even named 4 wonderful children for our marriage. But a sneaky friend of the family married her while I was gone in the military. Anyway, she's my true love and will be until the day I die. I'm very grateful for my Mormon heritage and the DNA, the Cox family. And until I die, I will strive to be a credit to that heritage. Thank you.
I have been. Which one are you?
Okay, Scott, I'm back to the live here on the at the cemetery.
Okay, so you're putting it live, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. We're still waiting for someone to come, but this is live right here. You're seeing it live, that's all. I think she's coming right now, so they're starting
Okay.
about any minute. So do you want me just to let you know when we are starting, or are you okay just leaving it like this?
Yeah, I can just leave it like this.
Okay.
So I think we're good.
Oh, come on, stick it. Oh yeah, I understand, but it's just not quite. Like, I mean, it's there, but it's just a little hard. It's hard. Yeah, and this needs to be should be flat, but this is, well, as when Madeline comes to put all stuff on, I might move it somewhere else. I just take a hold. So how are we looking for the?
I think everything's good. We were supposed to have a talk, just the, not the representatives, just the committee only. We just never did. So that way it doesn't, you get the feel of what everybody's kind of wanting. Everybody's doing the same thing. It's just printed up all the same way, pretty much. Add a few things if you want, but just go off that basic schedule. Yeah, I think she was wanting to set something up.
That's okay. I'm gonna put it together. Robert, I'm gonna move this so that Madeline can put some stuff down. Does this look okay still?
Okay, Scott, you'll need to unmute, but I just wanted to know, should I still go ahead and do some more video? Because it looks like it may still be a little bit of time before it starts.
Well, here's Madeline right here.
Okay. Hey, Scott, you'll need to unmute, but I just wanted to know, should I still go ahead and do some more video? Because it looks like it may still be a little bit of time before it starts. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, well, so I guess we're gonna start pretty soon, so I'll go ahead and mute myself.
Okay. I might just end up holding this right here. Might be the best thing. Hey, look, I'm getting somebody just recording me. Picture of a picture or recording of a recording.
Say hi, that's my mom.
Oh, hey, Robert says hi.
Oh, my son.
What do you want to say to him? Anything?
Oh, hi, Robert. I'm taking pictures of this beautiful scenery.
Uh-huh. Say hi, that's my mom.
Ken, where do you want that one?
Right there on the front row, right? And once you get. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
No wonder you look much alike. I haven't seen nothing. See what I mean? No, let's get remember each other. Well, everybody's face is. Yeah, that doesn't help. Yes.
That's right. Yeah, that's perfect.
Now I can see it.
Now that we have our most important person here, Madeline, well, we're all important. We're going to have Madeline there. Let's begin. If you'd like to come in where you can hear and see and take a chair. If you need a chair, we'll get started. Oh, a little louder.
No. Oh, does it need? I don't know. I think that's it. But I can.
What you hear is what you get, I guess.
I can. That's it.
Yes.
I didn't know what you said. Yes, this is Legacy of Love. See the music, you guys.
Okay, they'll be handing out music, teaching music, because we're all going to sing today.
This
Really
is
important.
that the rest of the world go by. So we're not going to
She's right here. So if you take a copy of the paper so you can read it, maybe have to double up on a couple of them.
Okay, I can sing that. Two songs. Yeah. Okay, this sweet lady here says
Two.
that in Fresno,
I only have 40, so someone will have to share. Here,
sister,
Rick,
she says in Fresno,
give them one of each.
they didn't have service, so they had.
Just put one on the top, one on the bottom, and let them. No, there's words on one side and music on the other.
Okay. So like that.
They had no obituary about here. Get in the sea. And that's as close as they could get in California now for a funeral. And this song was the background for that, for those pictures and the obituary and things that they were able to present in memory and honor of Uncle Evan. I think he was wonderful. And Shanna, I think they did wonderful. And this is what they sang every day together. And this is what they sang every day for that. So let the rest of the world go by. I will tell you something that on this page, it's a little low, and the melody is the lower note, and so the harmony is the higher note. And I know that all of you talkers and people around here can pick out harmony if you want to. If you'd like to sing that harmony, that beautiful harmony, do it. Otherwise, let's sing that, the melody on the lower note.
Okay, folks, let's get started, and it's a good morning to you. A little clouds, but it's going to be nice. I think you'll find out we're going to be warm inside from this occasion. It's special. Now, there are a few more chairs here. If those would like to take that would be fun. Anyway, my name is Kenneth Cox, Chaplain Cox, and it's just really important that we take a moment now and make this the most special we can. So on behalf of Evan's wife, Madeline, his children and his grandchildren, we welcome you here. And I'm glad that you made that effort and sacrifice to be here for this great man. He's had a wonderful life, and we're happy to be able to be here to celebrate his life. Okay, we'll begin with a prayer by Rob Cox. Oh, by the way, I'm a nephew to Evan, and Rob Cox is going to offer our opening prayer. Right after that, we'll sing the song that Mathlin and Evan sing all the time. And the whole family, the whole Arthur D. Cox family, they all would sing, and it's carried on in each one of them, and their wives. I can remember Bob and his lovely wife singing all the time, and Alma. So this, as we do this, think about the great eight and about the strength of music that comes within the family. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. So Rob.
Our Father in heaven, we come before thee as the family of our dear Evan Cox, both immediate and extended and good friends. We are grateful for this man, for his life, and for the blessings of knowing him. We are grateful for his smile that brought warmth to our hearts, for his friendship to old and young alike in equal measure. We're grateful for the integrity of his heart, for the adventuresome spirit that he had and has. We're grateful that he is now at rest and has the opportunity now to be reunited with those family members and others that have passed before him, that he has this chance to be reacquainted. We're grateful for all the memories that we have of him, and pray that they will be of comfort to each of us, and especially his family. And we are grateful for all that has transpired in his life and what he's brought to ours, that we can learn from it, that we can enjoy it, and that we can go on with great joy and happiness at the happenings therein, and for the blessings of being associated with it. Now we ask for thy spirit to be with us as we reminisce and dedicate this meeting to him. And we ask for this humbly. And in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ, amen.
I should just mention that Carol Segmiller will be directing this. She's a niece, and Gloria Taylor will be accompanying. She's also a niece.
someone like you, I want to be alone. A place that's no just a song to call our own. We're longer than you, where joy never cease. Out there beneath the mighty sun, we'll build a sweet little nest somewhere in the west, and let the birds on the roof. I heard Grandpa say that
Thank you. February 27th was a Saturday. And on that day, Madeline was visiting her husband, Evan, as she did quite often. And she wasn't driving, so she had to have someone bring her. So obviously, when it came time to go home, she had to go home at the time that person returned. So on this particular Saturday, the person came and she says, well, dear, I've got to go. And as they did all the time, she took her fingers, placed them to the mask, and then she was going to kiss him, because in California, the COVID rules are really strict. In this particular care center, they had to wear masks all the time. Evan looked at her and said, that's not good enough. You wanted a kiss. Madeline looked to the side around to see who was going to catch her and take her to jail. But she figured it was worth it. So she pulled her mask down, as he did, and they shared a kiss. And afterward, he goes, oh, that's better. And then he said the magic words, sweetheart. Then, that day, I will be struggling all day, but we'll try to get through it. So then she left. And the next day, the Lord's Day, the 28th, Evan and the owner of the care center, a lovely lady that had just fallen in love with Evan. Well, everybody in the care center liked Evan. And, but she especially did. And on more than one occasion, she said that she wanted to join Evan's family. And that's who's here. That influence was carried by him for us. And so they were just chatting and happy and smiling. And then she had to go do something for just a minute. She was going to come back. So she did. She left. And then she came back, and Evan was gone. Now, what a lovely story. What a lovely story. Think about this. He was able to kiss his sweetheart. Then he said, bye for now. And then the next day, on the Lord's Day, he left here and he went to see his father in heaven. He saw his mom and dad. He saw his brothers and sisters, other folks in his life. What a marvelous thing. Because right there you can see why it's so important that our Heavenly Father has such a nice plan. The plan of happiness. Where we can come here, we can fall in love, we can have families, we can do what we need to do on the path here. Then the path carries on in the next life. And it carries on for the eternities. So that's just a beautiful story to me. And and so now as we start to think about Evan and how it's affected our life, we've asked Dan Wilcock, who spent probably as much time as anyone here outside of his immediate family in his activities. And Dan has a tribute he'd like to share with you. After his tribute is finished, you're welcome to come up and share your own feelings and your own thoughts. And because of the number here, I say, please, if we could limit our remarks to 2 minutes or so. And if you wish, there's some sanitary laws that you'd like to take care of that if you would like to. Before you start. They might sting just a little. So, Dan.
What a wonderful setting here. What a great location for this. Uncle Evan loved it right here. We're at the base of these mountains. Steamboat Mountain or West Temple is that light colored right there. Mount Kinnisava right there. North American Hills, we've got Eagle Crags or Eagle Peak, we called it. Smithsonian Butte. All of these he loved. This is a great location for him to relate the rest of. Yes, I've been asked to give this tribute, and I don't want to take too long, so I want to leave you some time, but I'm going to say what I want to say. So you're going to have to bear with me. Memories by Evan Cox. Fun songs with original lyrics straight from my heart, composed while driving our milk cows across the bench to pastures along the river, or while doing other fun chores in town or at the farm, or singing back to singing birds from a cotch in the topmost branches of that old pear tree, the one furthest north in that row of fruit trees planted by the early Mormon pioneers. That pear tree that supported the north end of that big, strong pole of our big swing there in the orchard was my favorite tree to climb. I found a perfect little crotch high up there where I could sing and dream to my heart's content and build awesome castles in the sky. In real dreams, sleep dreams too, I could soar all over town and the surrounding mountains along on my personal magic carpet. Reoccurring dreams, and also so many nighttime dreams of hordes, millions of gold coins glittering up through the crystal clear water in ditches along the main road in Rockville. Fortunate was I to be born when and where we were, to the most loving and caring parents on this earth, and blessed with precious and fun brothers and sisters for playmates, with the old Lizard Farm and Virgin River as our playground. Fantastic dreamer as a boy, bearded old man still doing it. That one line from Uncle Evan's journal, fantastic dreamer as a boy, bearded old man still doing it, sums up in one sentence the life of one of the most unique and interesting people I've ever known. Can you hear me? Okay, good. Family, friends, and loved ones of Evan Cox, born July 19th, 1926 in Rockville, Utah, to Cora Haight and Arthur Delano Cox. His siblings, Alma, Elmer, Marie, Lena, Robert, Bernice, Imelda, and Paul. It's a great privilege to have this special opportunity to honor my Uncle Evan. My life has been richly blessed from my association with him. Although my main objective here is to help each of us always remember and appreciate the things Uncle Evan did to help us improve and bring joy to our lives, I have so many fond memories of working with him on many different projects, usually to do with rocks, minerals, fossils, gems, ants, tadpole shrimp, or just prospecting for anything interesting and worthwhile. So for these brief remarks, I'm going to focus mostly on those things that he and I have in common and that I'm most familiar with. I'll mention only a few other things that I think might be interesting, because I want to leave time for some of you to express your thoughts. As I was preparing for this, Uncle Bob called and offered the use of Uncle Evan's journal, and I jumped at the chance. And while Nancy Betsy and I were visiting at Uncle Bob's and talking about Uncle Evan, he said that Evan was always easy to get along with. He was cordial and had a positive attitude. He had a cheerful outlook on life. He made friends easily. Those are some basic traits that served him well in dealing with others that are quite accurate in helping to define his character. I have a business called Life Studies, and the demand for products it sells exceeds the capability of one person to acquire. So back in the early 1980s, when I realized that fact, I was aware that Uncle Evan had an interest in the same things that I was marketing. I asked if he'd like to do some collecting for me. He was excited to try. So I drew up some maps for him, showing locations, directions where to find those items. I was surprised at how good he was at not only finding those certain places, but also his ability for expanding those collecting sites and scouting out other new areas. Also amazing was his uncanny knack for developing faster, easier, and more efficient collecting methods. Our mutual interests soon merged, and we had quite a few enjoyable years of working together. Of course, he got the better end of the deal, though. He got to spend his full time doing the more enjoyable things, prospecting and collecting. Some of my time had to be spent packaging materials and dealing with customers. Anyway, my intent here isn't to cover everything that, or to mention others involved. Mainly, I want to highlight a few of his exceptional insights and abilities. From my association with Uncle Evan, I believe he was first and foremost a true nature lover. During the years we worked together, he spent most of his time out in the hills enjoying nature as he prospected, collected things that many people don't appreciate, but to him and some others were interesting and valuable. He could take something like an old dead tree stump, which most of us would pass by without a second glance, cut and polish slices of it to make gorgeous tabletops and other furniture. He transformed an old apricot tree stump into a beautiful 11-foot tall creation he called Milady. Put it up for sale on his website with many other fantastic natural treasures. Maybe even more beautiful are the rock slices he collected and had cut and polished from beautiful agatized petrified wood. Perhaps his most noticeable trait to me was his brilliant creative ability to invent ways for faster, easier, and more productive collecting and processing of materials. This pertained to most things he did. He collected many different fossils for use in collections, as well as rare ones sold individually. The gastropods are one item that he mentions specifically in his journal. I'd like to read from his own words a little about his method for collecting them, as he had much more interesting descriptive way of bringing out details and expressing himself than I have. And this is a prime example of what Uncle Evan was really interested in, and he was very good at it. So bear with me, I'm going to read you a little bit that he told how he collected those gastropods. This really does show what he was. This really does show what he could do, what he was like. Okay, this is what he said. This is his own words. Going all the way to the top on Cedar Mountain, I found a wonderful place where the large gastropods were perfectly formed, clean and abundant. Further along the road to Cedar Breaks, there's a road that cuts off to the right, goes down to a place called Webster Flats. That's where I discovered an awesome strata of the small gastropods. The fossils were in a soft, loose limestone bed, and for the first trip there, I used pick and shovel and my special shaker to separate the fossil bugs from the dirt. For the next few trips to that lucrative spot, I bought a small rototiller, which worked wonderfully well on the hillside strata near Three Waters at Webster Flat. I parked my truck close to the strata to facilitate screening and loading small gastropods, used my tiller to loosen up the crumbly limestone to be screened with my special shaker. And then he's going to tell you about this special shaker. It says, it's a wonderful apparatus I rigged up to drive the 3-foot wide by 5-foot long framed screen. With a 3-horsepower Briggs & Stratton gasoline engine bolted on angle iron shaker, connected the 3-foot by 5-foot framed screen on rollers with a 16-inch fitment rod. A Lovejoy connector transfers the power from the engine shaft to a 32-1 speed reducer that turns a 10-inch pulley that has 3 3/8-inch holes drilled on the face and tapped. The reason for the 3 tapped holes, if you distance the frame screen, it oscillates back and forth on the frame. With having 3 holes on the pulley face, it's possible to choose the stroke distance. The screen would oscillate back and forth by about 7 inches, minimum to maximum. Also, by having the RPM adjustment on the engine, it allows for quite a variable on the shaker action. These weird little snail-like critters lived and died in a muddy ancient seabed environment and over time have become fossilized. Today, these same little critters, as fossils in a weathering down shale hillside, are below sea level, or are 8,500 feet higher in elevation than they were when they were living at 50 to 100 feet below sea level 400 million years ago. Awesome. The spot where I parked my truck was about 8 feet in elevation below the spot where I set up the shaker. When I cranked up my shaker, the little critter fossils dropped off the low end of the jittering screen and right down the chute into the bed of my truck. With a 10-foot length of heavy plastic pipe, and he goes on and on here telling about the chute and the different things. The Briggs and Stratton cranked up and the screen jigging back and forth. It's as easy as pie in the sky to shovel the dirt and bugs onto the screen. Dirt drops through, bugs drop off the end of the slanted screen, slide down to the bed of the truck. Gotcha, by golly, not meaning to mislead anyone here. If there were some way to express huff and puff, I could make you tired just reading my story. But even though it did require lots of huff and puff, I really did enjoy delivering hundreds of thousands of these little critters to the guys in Hurricane. Okay, I'm still not done. I'm going to go a little bit more here. I could go on all day about the things that we did together, but I'm just going to give you a little bit more. While collecting naturally magnetic rocks called lodestones, he found some huge specimens at especially strong magnetism, the largest of which weighs 2,200 pounds. One of them is at Knott's Berry Farm, one is at a museum, and I think he kept the other one. The one he had at his home at the farm he was quite fond of. It was extra powerful. You could toss tin cans toward it, it would catch and hold them fast. He collected many other rocks and minerals for me to use in rock collections. Another item he collected by the millions was what people around here call big red stinging ants. I've used millions of Western harvester ants every year for about 40 years for use in ant farms, food for animals, birds at zoos, and other applications. Uncle Evan traveled great distances collecting them for me, always developing more efficient ways to collect them and ways to keep from getting stung. And another item I want to mention that he had in his journal, collected millions of tadpole shrimp eggs. Freshwater tadpole shrimp, or triops, some people believe are descended from the ancient Cambrian trilobite, sometimes referred to as living fossils, as they haven't changed since the Triassic period. After collecting many fossil trilobites from shale formations, he then got the opportunity, he then got the chance to collect and hatch out living fossils. So these eggs are collected from ponds that dry out yearly. They can lay dormant for many years, and then with the right range of temperature, they hatch out. And I want to tell you this one experience he told me about collecting them. He later recorded in his journal once when he was collecting shrimp eggs in northern Nevada. He was way back in the boondocks. When he got ready to leave, his truck wouldn't start. He had to hike back to civilization. It was extremely cold. As he hiked along, it got late. He came to a house he had noticed on the way out. No one was home. He was so desperate that he pried off a window with a piece of iron that he found close by. He climbed in, found something to eat, blankets to keep warm with, spent the night there. In the morning, he got something to eat and then went on his way. He always felt that finding that house had saved his life. And of course, his actual journal account of the experience is very detailed and interesting. But anyway, of course, there's the pyrite mine that south of Grafton that he and Uncle Bob found, discovered, and he dug out a bunch of nuggets and made jewelry out of them. I've hiked down there a few times, and it's a couple of miles south of the graveyard there at Grafton. If anybody's interested, I can show it to them. I'm just going to mention a couple other things. With his creative mind, he came up with many unusual things, like the unique dice he created with 20 sides that he called Cox Cubes. Told me about a game he had in mind for a TV show where the contestants used 4-foot diameter dice. He was always trying to get me interested in his fantastic schemes, but I was usually too skeptical to get involved. Anyway, his interests and abilities go on and on. One of his most talented gifts was ability to express himself in writing. He wrote a lot of poems, songs, stories, etc. Even though he had good singing voice himself, he usually got others to perform it for him. Of course, his four-legged cowboy rendition that we're all familiar with. And I'm going to close with this. I hope to be able to visit him about all these things when I pass on. Maybe even have a chance to do some exploring over there with him. Maybe see his four-legged cowboy performance again. Evan Cox, a great man, a great friend. We love you, Uncle Evan.
I have a very quick something that I'll share with you guys. Being younger than most of, being younger than most of my cousins. Oh, turn it on. There we go. There it is. Now I can start that. Being a little bit younger than most of my cousins, I don't have all of the fabulous memories that you guys do because you enjoyed the farm and stuff more than I did. But Uncle Evan, I never heard the name Uncle Evan until I was in my 20s. And I always knew him as Uncle Pyrite. And when my mom said one day something about Uncle Evan coming, I was like, who's that? And she goes, well, Uncle Pyrite. So, but that was the name I grew up with him. And he did have the little pieces of pyrite that he shared with us every time he came to visit and stuff. And anyway, I just thought that was kind of a cute little note that like that he doesn't remember my name. I didn't know his name until I got older either. Anyway, loved him so much. I've always enjoyed his personality. I think he had a great talent for making people feel easy and comfortable and welcome around him, and made friends so easily, and we just all loved him so much. Okay. Maybe I'll go like this. You know, I loved Uncle Evan and Madeline. Whenever they'd come to town, they'd check on me. He wanted to make sure that I had a boyfriend. Madeline reassured me that she had a friend that said that she was single, and she said her eternal companion was a casualty of the Civil War.
So I would be fine if I, and I love their love story, how they met and got married, and it was just beautiful. And they'd invite me out to dinner, and he always wanted to sit right next to her. None of this sitting across the table from each other, no way. And I do remember one time he came into town. He was flying in, and he needed someone to pick him up at the airport. He called me and asked if I'd pick him up, and he'd called a couple of other people, and they just weren't able to do it. And I was just happy to. And we walked out the car, and he opened my door, helped me sit in there, made sure I got my seatbelt buckled up. And he's such a gentleman, as all of the Cox brothers and men. They're gentlemen and amazing. And they would take pictures, and if they took a picture of me, they'd send it to me in the mail. And I would just feel blessed to have that. I guess it's because I lived there in St. George and was close by. What a blessing for me to be able to share those times with Mathlin and Evan. And I love the song that he wrote, Legacy of Love. When I finally read the letters, he was so passionate about family DNA, as you know, when you go to the reunions. And I love his sentiment and his honor for his parents and the blessing that they were. Cut that off.
I'm going to say something in behalf of Shar. She is so grateful for all of you to be here, but can't be here in this spot. We love Shar. We love Paul. So grateful you're here. And all of your family members that we've been able to meet. Mathlin. The love of Evan's life, including a few others. Anyway, we're so grateful that you all can be here. Can I give a little announcement on top of my 2 minutes? So in one of Dave's and my trips up to Fresno to see Uncle Evan, we put together what he calls his legacy for now. And he wanted all of his stories and poems, and like Dan says, I could talk forever about Uncle Evan. His stories, poems, his inventions, his music, he wanted it all pulled together on his computer, but he didn't know how to do it. And so Dave and I, well, not me, but my husband helped him put it all in one file. And we made copies, and I made enough for each of the grade 8 family at the park. I'll give those to you. There's just so many things in there that are just amazing. I haven't even had a chance to see it all, but have your grade 8 representative make copies for your family so that you can see all of this great stuff from Uncle Evan. And we've got a special one for you, Uncle Bob. Anyway, I just wanted to say about Uncle Evan. What a joy it is to spend time with him and living in the same state as he did for the last 17 years with Mathlin. And she said we had 17 wonderful years together and never a fight. Is that the word you used? Never an argument. What a legacy. And they would sing every night when they go to bed. They'd look at the picture of their parents right in front of their bed and sing a song and say thanks for the DNA. We're all thankful for the DNA that we share. And now we have Uncle Bob to keep reminding us of that great DNA. Anyway, the visits that we had in Fresno were so great. They'd have their porch lined with peaches, and Aunt Mathlin would be calling everybody in the ward to see who wanted peaches and can they come pick them up. And those are the best peaches ever. But on one of the visits, Uncle Evan and Mathlin took us out in their backyard and showed us all of their rocks, their petrified wood, and driftwood, and the weeds that quote unquote weeds that grow in the back lawn that Uncle Evan eats. And all of the inventions that he had in his backyard. You should go visit Aunt Madeline sometime. It's really a treat. Anyway, just such a wonderful and amazing man. I'm sure he is just being received in such a great and grand reunion in heaven at this time. And thank you for being here and sharing this love that we share together.
I want you to know that the 5 days Evan spent was in a home. That place was really lovely. And she fell in love with Evan. Let me come when I should not be there. She was the one that was there with him just the night before he passed away. And when she came out and told me he was gone, she said, I want to be part of your family. Can I be part of your family? She said he was the most loving, kind person she had ever had in her 7 homes that she had for people like that. That he was very kind, he was thoughtful, and so some of the people that were giving her problems, he tamed down and made it so that they were a different person. And she kept a picture that I had on his table and a copy of his book, because she said he was the most kind person, loving, giving, and hard, easy to handle that she'd ever had in her 8 homes. And he was that way. Is that way.
I guess I get a turn. I was number 4 in the family. And when I was born, my dad was in the Air Force. And so my mom lived with Grandma and Grandpa for a long time. So I was in Rockville. And since all of the other boys were in the service, Uncle Evan was the one that was left at home, and he was the one that did all the chores. And I have my mom's diaries right now because I'm trying to write my history. Finally figured out that in your 70s, you've got a history, so you can start writing your history. And it's just been fascinating for me to read the experiences that she had here in Rockville with her family that were here. There was Aunt Imelda and Aunt Bernice, and Evan still at home. And it seems like Evan was the one that was in charge of taking care of the cars all the time that broke down. He got his first car, and she said that he went to Springdale to get his first car, and he was all excited about that. And when Mom's vehicle or anybody's vehicles wouldn't run, he was the one that had to go out and start them and get them going and push them. They almost always have to push their cars to get them started. And the flat tires they had, I mean, every time they went anywhere, they had flat tires because during the Depression, they didn't allow people to buy new tires. So they had to use old tires until there was nothing left. And they were always talking about going to build a boot to put on the tire. Now, I don't know what a boot is. I've tried to ask my husband, what is a boot that you put on a tire? I just know about the boots that they put on them if you park in the wrong place and they put on a boot. So I still don't know what that means, but I know that he was the one that was doing all of the neat things that needed to be done here at Grandpa's. And I remember, well, I don't remember an awful lot about Uncle Evan, except that he called me Sugar. And even after I was older, he still called me Sugar clear up into the time that I was married and had kids. He just called me Sugar. That was my name. and that was kind of special. And when he would come to visit with Aunt Pat, it was such a neat experience because Aunt Pat was a very vibrant and colorful person. She wore red lipstick, and when she would leave, she would go around and kiss every single person. She'd put her arms around and just give them a big kiss on the cheek. Everybody loved it. We loved it when Pat and Evan came, and so that was kind of a neat thing that I remember. I do want to mention something that Uncle Lenore, I call him Uncle Lenore. I'm sorry, that's what he always was. And in Mom's journal, it's always Lenore. It's never Bob. It's always Lenore because that's what they called him at home. And let's see, what was I going to mention about that? Oh, we were over visiting with him, and he told us an experience. Are you going to tell about the experience with the gold? Okay, well, I'll tell that. He said that he and Uncle Evan went down the river one time, and they looked down there, and there was a sparkly gold in the river, and they were so excited because they knew they were rich. They were just as rich as they could be, and they were so excited about being rich. And they gathered up a few nuggets and ran them up where Grandpa and the other boys were, and showed them this gold mine they found, and they laughed at him and told him it was fool's gold. They said just for a few minutes they were rich as richest people in the world, and all of a sudden there was nothing, and it was really depressing, I guess. Anyway, thought that was kind of a cute little story that he told. And I'm just so excited to be here today that I got the opportunity to come down from Idaho. Carol brought me down, and I mean, this is a very hallowed, this is a sacred field, you might say, our sacred grove. And we've spent a lot of time up here. We've had dances on the water towers. We've climbed the mountains and the hills and swam in the rivers. And this is just a choice place for our families and cousins and aunts and uncles. And I don't ever remember an unkind word being unspoken. I do remember one thing that happened with Aunt Imelda. When Stephen and Chris were up on the mountain a ways, Aunt Imelda was anxious for them to come and get home, and she went out on the mountain, I mean out behind Grandma's house, and she yelled, "Chris and Stephen, you get down here or I'll blister you." And the neighbor boys, whose names were Chris and Stephen, their names happened to be that, took off running as fast as they could go. They thought that she was talking to them. She says, "Get down here or I'll blister you." We always remembered that. There's lots of funny stories, and my mom and dad are over here, and my grandma and grandpa, and my little brother, and you know, our special uncles and aunts. And this is just a hallowed place for me. I'm grateful to be here and to have this experience. Thank you.
If there's someone else, I don't want to take the time from them, but otherwise we'll go on. So now it's time for the dedication of the grave, and Evan's brother is going to do that. Rob, do you want to come in? All the gentlemen take off their hats, have a hat on. Thank you. Our dear Father in heaven, in the name of Jesus Christ, and of the Holy Melchizedek priesthood, I consecrate and dedicate the grave which Evan Owen Cox will be in, that it'll be protected from the elements and from any animals of any kind,
And it'll be a place where family and loved ones can come and visit and reminisce on their lives with my brother Evan. And we ask a special blessing on his dear wife that she might be well, and the family also that are here to celebrate this great man, Evan Alwyn Cox. He was a great man, involved in so many things in his life. And everybody seemed to love everything that he did and was with them and enjoyed his company. And I say these things humbly in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you. Now we have another song. We'll turn it over to I wrote it on the program, but not all of you have that. But this is a song that Evan wrote himself.
You'll find the words on the back for those that you want to follow through. I know you can hit that note, Matt, but I hear you. Okay, let's go through it and see if you like it.
And teach us how to love. Let's sing of love. Inherited home of grace. For thee and for love, your angels come above. In holy banner the Lord will sow. This is the future of golden upon. And the principal virgin alone, Christ
Do we have two volunteers that can fold the American flag? We can do what I need to do with it folded. Oh, we have someone here. Oh, good. Evan was a veteran, is a veteran. And he's first tour duty. He was in World War II. And he found that he loved being a soldier and he loved his country. He loved it so well that he signed up for a second tour. And while these two men are holding this flag, let us think about our own feelings about this country that we live in, for the pride that we have, for the love that we have. And I was quite amazed that all of Grandpa D's sons served in the military. And they went to the war and they came home. And for that, we were very grateful. And they instilled upon myself and my dad, and I'm sure each one to their own families, a love and honor for the flag. And maybe this would be a good time for us all to show some respect for the flag. Those that would like to stand and do so. Madeline from the United States Air Force, a grateful nation, give you this flag symbol for our appreciation of the service of Evan. And it's faithful and honorable. I'd now like to have a closing prayer by Evan. Oh dear, no, we've had this special opportunity to enjoy this wonderful service. We're grateful for the spirit that we've felt, the feelings that we've felt, all those who participated and shared their love and we pray that we might take this spirit with us and that we might ever hold memory of Evan Cox. We pray that as we depart, we might go safety and that all the loved ones that aren't with us might also have thy spirit of safety and care, that we might always remember Evan. We pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Just another word or two. I certainly, again, thank you all for your sacrifice, your time, and your love. This, from Matthew and Evan's family. I would like to especially mention, and I hope I don't miss out on anyone, but you know, I'd like to thank Jackie and Harold Wells. Jackie right now is carrying the lump down at the city park. Appreciate their help in setting up here for Karen and Dee Gorder for the preparation of the grave. So they worked hard, and Uncle Bob was back. And Leona Evans, and you'll see some of her work down at the park, where she's put together some memory things in a scrapbook for Matthew. For Diane Chapin, who's provided for the sound system. And a big thanks goes out to Scott Earl and Robert Fletcher, who right now is in Arizona. But the signal from here is going to Arizona and then goes going out even on the YouTube. And you'll be able to go to the YouTube. I would like to see it later. Go to the 80 Cox reunion. I think that's what it is. Maybe it's family. So either that or family, and then go down through a picture until you see Evan's picture, and then you'll be able to visit what we did today and be reminded. And I hope I haven't overlooked anyone. All those that helped with the program and the 80 Cox Family Committee, we really appreciate that help. Now, for those who may not know, if you'd like to attend the luncheon, you go out here on the highway, turn right, and about the center of town. It is by the post office and by what I used to know as the schools across the street on the south, and the church was on the north side. You turn in right there by the post office, and it goes into the city park. And I invite you to join there and visit as long as you feel like you need to. I hope I haven't overlooked anything. Okay, be safe. Be safe now and as we gather together and on your way to your homes. Thank you.
Okay, Scott, are you planning to go to the dinner or luncheon or whatever it's called?
I am, yes.
So do you want me to play the video for a while you're going there, and then maybe you can visit with some of the people there so that they can talk to whoever, kind of say a few words on YouTube?
Sure. Sure, I can
Okay.
do that. Yeah.
Okay, I'll start the video, the looping video again. There's my mom again.
There's your mom again. Yeah.
I heard his
Hi.
voice. I said, so I had to come and see.
Yeah. So, well, I'll turn it back on if you want me to. Back over at the, depends on what you want. You just let me know what you want recorded, and I'll record it.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on mute, and as soon as you unmute yourself, then I'll know that you're ready to have remind me to that you. I'll switch over to you again.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, well, I'll turn it back on if you want. Back over at the, depends on what you want. Just let me know what you want recorded, and I'll record it.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on mute, and as soon as you unmute yourself, then I'll know that you're ready to have maybe that I'll switch over to you again.
Okay, sounds good.
My name. My name is Evan Cox. I was born July 19, 1926 to Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Hayden Cox in Rockville, Utah, near Zion National Park, Utah. My first marriage was to Patricia Margaret Douglas, and in Scotland when I was in the military there. We had 3 wonderful children, Philip William, Yvonne, Charlene Yvonne, and Paul Brennan Cox. My second wife, after 20 years married to my first, was to the sweet gal Barbara, and our marriage lasted about 18 years. The third marriage lasted about 2 years. Sweet, wonderful girl. Then I married my sweetheart from 58 years before that. I met her in the military when I was in California, and we planned and even named 4 wonderful children for our marriage. But a sneaky friend of the family married her while I was gone in the military. Anyway, she's my true love and will be until the day I die. I'm very grateful for my Mormon heritage and the DNA heritage of the Cox family. And until I die, I will strive to be a credit to that heritage. Thank you.
Two extra stirrups and 2 extra spurs, 2 extra boots for his 2 extra feet.
My name is Evan Cox. I was born July 19, 1926 to Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Hayden Cox in Rockville, Utah, near Zion National Park, Utah. My first marriage was to Patricia Margaret Douglas, and in Scotland when I was in the military there. We had 3 wonderful children, Philip William, Yvonne, Charlene Yvonne, and Paul Brennan Cox. My second wife, after 20 years married to my first, was to a sweet gal, Barbara, and our marriage lasted about 18 years. The third marriage lasted about 2 years. Sweet, wonderful girl. And I married my sweetheart from 58 years before that. I met her in the military when I was in California, and we planned and even named 4 wonderful children for our marriage. But a sneaky friend of the family married her while I was gone in the military. Anyway, she's my true love and will be until the day I die. I'm very grateful for my Mormon heritage and the DNA of the Cox family. And until I die, I will strive to be a credit to that heritage. Thank you.
Two extra stirrups and 2 extra spurs, 2 extra boots for his 2 extra feet.
My name is Evan Cox. I was born July 19, 1926 to Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Hayden Cox in Rockville, Utah, near Zion National Park, Utah. My first marriage was to Patricia Margaret Douglas, and in Scotland when I was in the military there. We had 3 wonderful children, Philip William, Yvonne, Charlene Yvonne, and Paul Brennan. After 20 years married to my first was to a sweet gal, Barbara, and our marriage lasted about 18 years. The third marriage lasted about 2 years. Sweet, wonderful girl. And I married my sweetheart from 58 years before that. I met her in the military when I was in California, and we planned and even named 4 wonderful children for our marriage. But a sneaky friend of the family married her while I was gone in the military. Anyway, she's my true love and will be until the day I die. I'm very grateful for my Mormon heritage and the DNA of the Cox family. And until I die, I will strive to be a credit to that heritage. Thank you.
Two extra stirrups and 2 extra spurs, 2 extra boots for his 2 extra feet.
My name is Evan Cox. I was born July 19, 1926 to Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Hayden Cox in Rockville, Utah, near Zion National Park, Utah. My first marriage was to Patricia Margaret Douglas, and in Scotland when I was in the military there. We had 3 wonderful children, Philip William, Yvonne, Charlene Yvonne, and Paul Brennan Cox. My second wife, after 20 years married to my first, was to the sweet gal Barbara, and our marriage lasted about 18 years. The third marriage lasted about 2 years. Sweet, wonderful girl. And I married my sweetheart from 58 years before that. I met her in the military when I was in California, and we planned and even named 4 wonderful children for our marriage. But a sneaky friend of the family married her while I was gone in the military. Anyway, she's my true love and will be until the day I die. I'm very grateful for my Mormon heritage and the DNA of the Cox family. And until I die, I will strive to be a credit to that heritage. Thank you.
Two extra stirrups and 2 extra spurs, 2 extra boots for his 2 extra feet.
My name is Evan Cox. I was born July 19, 1926 to Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Hayden Cox in Rockville, Utah, near Zion National Park, Utah. My first marriage was to Patricia Margaret Douglas, and in Scotland when I was in the military there. We had 3 wonderful children, Philip William, Yvonne, Charlene Yvonne, and Paul Brennan Cox. My second wife, after 20 years married to my first, was to the sweet gal Barbara, and our marriage lasted about 18 years. The third marriage lasted about 2 years. Sweet, wonderful girl. And I married my sweetheart from 58 years before that. I met her in the military when I was in California, and we planned and even named 4 wonderful children for our marriage. But a sneaky friend of the family married her while I was gone in the military. Anyway, she's my true love and will be until the day I die. I'm very grateful for my Mormon heritage and the DNA of the Cox family. And until I die, I will strive to be a credit to that heritage. Thank you.
2 extra stirrups and 2 extra spurs, 2 extra boots for his 2 extra feet.
My name is Evan Cox. I was born July 19, 1926 to Arthur Delano Cox and Cora Hayden Cox in Rockville, Utah, near Zion National Park, Utah. My first marriage was to Patricia Margaret Douglas, and in Scotland when I was in the military there. We had 3 wonderful children, Philip William, Yvonne, Charlene Yvonne, and Paul Brennan Cox. My second wife, after 20 years married to my first, was to the sweet gal Barbara, and her
Hey, I finally made it here, buddy.
about 18
Robert.
years. A third marriage.
After walking around a little bit while driving around the block a couple of times.
Okay, I'm unmuted now.
Okay, right on. I found the post office, drove around, didn't realize this was back here. Wow. And then right here is the Rockville Town Park. Look at this. Isn't that amazing? Wow. I did not know this was here. So we'll just take a quick look, see at this is where they're having the luncheon right here. And we'll just do a quick walkthrough of it if that's okay. Is that what you want, Robert?
Yeah, that'd be fine. And then just if there's anybody that wants to say a few words over YouTube to say hi to any family. Of course, they won't be able to talk back, but
right. Yeah, okay. All right, well, I'm going to go pick on some people right now. I see Patty over here. We're going to
yeah, they're at the luncheon now. I'm sorry, Scott. I accidentally muted you.
We're there. Can I tell another
Okay.
quick story?
Yeah, let's hear one
Okay.
good story about. You're talking about Uncle Evan, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No,
Okay.
it's just years and years and years ago, I wanted to buy a piano, and I looked through the want ads. That's how we used to buy things, is with the newspaper. And I found that somebody had 2 pianos for sale. So I called, and a fellow answered the phone, and I talked to him for just a few minutes. And I said, "Who am I talking to? You sound like you have got to be my mom's brother." And he said, "This is Evan Cox." And I said, "This is Patty." And he's like, "Oh, Patty." So I went and bought his piano. So I have this piano at my house, but you know how they have that little vernacular that's so cute. You can't miss it, the way they talk and stuff. Only had to talk to him for a minute to realize who he was.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway.
That's a good story. Okay, good story. Any stories about Uncle Evan?
Yeah. See that mountain up here?
Yeah.
I went up there with Uncle Evan one time. He had property way up on top, and we came clear over looking for some corners of his property. It comes down off of this side down here. He was in the process of wanting to survey it out and get it where he could sell it and stuff.
Okay.
And he took me one time up on the mountain way over here, and we found some dinosaur bones.
So you've been out quite a bit with Uncle Evan.
Yeah, we went out on the strip one time with him and his 2 boys, Paul and Phil. And they got lost for about 4 hours. Didn't come back. And finally, when they came back, they were ready to go home. It was fun. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Good guy. Always.
I never did, so I think I'm a little too young for that. Do you have any stories?
Well, I married into the family, and he's always been friendly to me and talked to me, and he'd never turned me away. He'd always chat with me and wonder what was going on. And yeah, he treated me
Such a
like family
nice,
from
yeah.
day one.
Yeah, he always seemed to always take an interest in everybody, didn't he?
You guys had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you guys. Those 3 good stories for anybody who's still there. Robert, is there anybody there right now, or are we just talking to nobody? I think he's probably muted. Maybe I'm just talking to myself.
Yeah, let me check right now to see how many we got. We got 6.
Did you get that story?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, well, let's see if there's anybody else. Uncle Steve, we were wondering if you had a story about Uncle Evan you'd like to tell.
Well, when I graduated from high school, the day after I graduated, I had a motorcycle. And I went to work. It was a Saturday, and I just graduated. I was going to go have a wonderful summer. On my way home for lunch, got the first intersection, a car turned and smacked into me and broke my leg. So I was laid up for several months on crutches. My femur was broke, and took a while to get things all settled. But the insurance company paid me enough to pay for my motorcycle and lost wages. It paid for my mission. That hadn't happened, I wouldn't have been able to go on a mission because I would have been drafted, and they only allowed 2 people to go on a mission. So because of that, I went on a mission, and that money that I had was sitting there, and Uncle Evan borrowed that money to develop his pyrite mine. Then he'd send me a check every month from my mission. So
really,
yeah.
Wow, now that's
So
a cool story. Yeah.
He paid, it was my money, but he paid me he supported me on my mission.
Oh, okay, that's a good story.
Yeah.
That's a good story. Okay, Dan, you got any other good stories to tell?
Well, didn't anybody tell about the different experiences he had with skunks and things?
No.
Oh, there's
I've not
plenty of
heard
those.
plenty of skunk stories.
He was trying to get skunks for pets, descent the skunks, and but in the meantime, he got sprayed. He got all kinds of things. You just have to read it out. It's pretty interesting. He did a lot with skunks. It sounds like
Okay.
laying shirts. Anyway.
Okay, we'll
Research that out.
all right. We'll if you hear any skunk stories, then you know they're from Uncle Evan, right? Okay. All right. Well, they got a nice mural here. It doesn't look like there's a whole lot of people hanging out here at the place. So we'll see if we have any more people to talk to, any more stories. I think we'll see if we can get a story out of her.
Started not for prayer, so you don't have to wait for everybody else to get here. So I'll be there right now if that's okay. Pick up our hands and go off with prayer.
Okay, well, I kind of need to go, so I'll go ahead and stop the stream then, so you can go ahead and leave.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.